Well, here we are at Radicle Effect in Rock Island. Everybody knows Rich, right? Hey, Rich. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us. We're here at Radicle Effect. It is, as we're filming this, Quad City Craft Beer Week.
Right.
How long has that been going on, Quad City Craft Beer Week?
I would say not more than 10 years, but closer to 10 years.
Okay.
Just because there's, National Craft Beer Week.
Right.
And then as more breweries started to pop up in the Quad Cities, we decided a long time ago, Debbie Davis from Wake, when she used to work for us, we all came up with this idea, well, we should do something local. So that was kind of like the original brainchild of it, but then it's grown to such a bigger thing.
Sure. And I guess that speaks to, we talk about this all the time in the show, how well you all play together. All the different breweries around the Quad Cities. I mean, as we're filming this, there's a handful of brewmasters from a handful of different Quad City breweries just right now having a good time trying out different beers. It's not unusual.
At one point in time or another, we all belonged to the same homebrew club.
Right.
So I mean, that's how we got to familiarize ourselves with one another and build relationships that way. And then over time, each and every one of us started getting into the actual professional side of brewing, whether they were brewer owner or just brewer. But yeah, so we've all known each other forever and ever, so we get along great.
Now that club is called Mugz, right?
Sure.
Mugz is what you guys were all a part of at some point.
M-U-G-Z.
How much give and take is there in exchanging ideas between the professionals like you and the home brewers? They're probably learning a ton from you, but you maybe get a little something from them, or?
Definitely. I really learned a few years as a home brewer. I really learned a lot about how to brew at home versus brewing on a commercial push a button kind of system. And so yeah, there's always a transference of information between both, because to be honest with you, the only difference between a professional brewer and a home brewer, for the most part, is the paycheck.
Yeah.
But we all have that same love and that same spirit of creating that craft beer and wanting to share it with people and see their expression on their faces and enjoyment.
Do you view it sometimes like Mugz, like it's kind of a minor leagues where you can almost tell, this home brewer is getting close to that level where their beer is getting to be so excellent that I wouldn't be surprised if they one day soon opened up a place? Because I mean, so many of you have come out of that program. It's not unheard of, right? Yeah. Does that ever happen where you think here's the top 2 or 3 home brewers to keep an eye on?
Yeah, so I mean, I think about Twin Span.
Yeah, right.
Same club.
Right.
Wake, same club.
Right.
I mean, it just all these people that were already doing great things as home brewers, and then just took it to that next level.
So one of the reasons that we're here talking with you is this beer, and this is a beer that was made. I mean, collaboration is something we love to talk about when breweries work with other breweries, but breweries working with home brewers, and the Quad City breweries on both sides of the river have been doing this, where you all have been working with home brewers on different recipes. The one that you have here is called Ed's PA.
EdPA. Instead of IPA, it's EdPA.
Ah, now I get it.
But it is just a pale ale, not an IPA.
So it's Ed Pale Ale, EdPA.
Yep, so Ed K, I don't want to say his last name without permission, so
right.
He's
well, you're in a safe place, Ed K.
But he's a longtime home brewer and personal friend of mine, and we actually got synced up this year to brew together, so it's his Pro-Am week, right?
So it's a Pro-Am beer, I love that.
Yeah. So this one here is a pale ale.
Okay.
That we did. We have 2 different yeast strains in there, which we've never done before.
What does that do to the complexity of what I'm about to enjoy?
Well, it's our first time doing it. So 2 different strains that have 2 different kinds of profiles. One is Lutra, which can be considered somewhat of a lager, but also ale yeast. It's a hybrid. Okay. And then the other one is West Coast One, both from Omega out of Chicago.
And then I was looking at the hops that you have in here. Now, I know Sintra. I've had plenty of beers with Sintra, but there were 2 other hops that I don't know that I've ever seen before.
And I'd never used the other one, Zythos.
Zythos?
Yep.
Isn't he the bad guy in the Avenger movies? Who am I thinking of?
I don't know. And then Alani is another one. There's a new one that we just got. So we decided, we looked at the flavor profiles of all 3 of them, so we tied it all together. So it's definitely more on the tropical side of things.
Oh, right on. When you're making this beer with a home brewer, how much of it is your recipe, how much of it is his recipe?
It's 50-50.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we can always like.
Is that why there's 2 yeast strains? You had one and he
No,
had the other?
no, that was just a freak accident, freak of
Okay.
nature kind of scenario.
Okay.
But, you know, we went with it. And sometimes as a brewer, or sometimes as a host of a popular television show, sometimes you just have to go on the fly.
Right, absolutely. Other breweries in town that are doing this. I know that like Bent River's doing it, right?
Yep.
They're doing like an Alpine Ale. Do you know anything about that? I know that the handful of them you're serving here at Radicle.
Yep. So Bent River and their collaboration. We also have Rebels and Lions, which is part of Bad Boys and Rebellion.
Right,
down there in downtown.
and they did like a Kolsch, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was another Pro-Am, and then of course the EdPA.
What can I expect here?
A lot of tropical notes. You're going to get a little bit of pineapple. I don't know if it's guava or papaya in there, but definitely less citrus, but more tropical.
It's got like that tropical mouthfeel, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like this feels like the first drink they give you when you go to a resort.
A Mai Tai or something.
Yeah. It's like I imagine this would be the beer that they drink on like the White Lotus or something.
Right.
This is terrific. So it's got tropical notes, and that's all from the hops.
Right. And possibly the 2 different yeast strains. And we had to ferment them at 2 different temperatures, which is that was the hardest part.
Oh, help me understand what that means.
Well, because that the one yeast, which is both kind of a hybrid lagers ale yeast, it works better at higher temperatures, where most ale yeast have a very short range of temperature that it works at. So we started at a lower temperature for the first yeast strain that was in there. The other one does work well with it, but it brings on more lager characteristics at those lower temperatures. So then we shut off the call for glycol, so it wouldn't chill the tank anymore. We allowed it to free rise and get warmer, so that more of these fruity compounds would come out of that second yeast strain.
Again, it just makes me so happy. It makes my heart sing when I see all of you wonderfully talented people hanging out and enjoying each other's company and sharing each other's tips and talents. So for you to collaborate with each other and then to collaborate with these incredibly talented home brewers who one can only assume will be opening up breweries at some point in the not too distant future, right?
Not in the not too distant future. There's going to be some more that's going to be popping up.
That's what we want to hear.
Yep.
And we'll be there to tell you all about it. Just like a lot of beers at Radicle Effect, this isn't going to be around forever.
Nope, it's a 2-barrel batch, so it's 4 kegs worth of beer. So it'll probably be on draft for about 2 weeks, unless this show really just makes it super popular and it's done in 3 days, but you never know.
Okay, that sounds like a challenge, Brewed viewers. This is delicious. Come on in and enjoy it. Rich, as always, thanks for your time and your talent.
Thanks, Dave, I appreciate it.
Cheers. But when I had this last week, I told you and anybody that would listen, I think this could be like the beer of the summer.